Bonjour and welcome to French 2 with Mr. McCoy. This is lesson 111B, dedicated to more parts of the house. We saw in our last lesson, les pièces, which means more or less the rooms in the house. We're going to go a little bit further and talk about some other features of homes in this lesson. So our learning objective will be for you at the end of the lesson to be able to identify these features by their names in French, and also to be able to state whether your home, house, apartment has these features. Okay, so I have 11 terms I'm going to show to you. So listen carefully, watch carefully, and repeat out loud after me as we go through these. Okay. D'abord, okay, un balcon. C'est un balcon. Une terrasse. C'est une terrasse. Un jardin. C'est un jardin. Un garage. C'est un garage. Un sous-sol. C'est un sous-sol. Une cave. C'est une cave. Un grenier. C'est un grenier. Un placard. C'est un placard. Des placards. Ce sont des placards. Un escalier. C'est un escalier. Un couloir. C'est un couloir. Une cheminée. C'est une cheminée. Okay? Make sure you take the time, repeat those out loud, okay? Listen carefully, repeat that out loud as you go through those, okay? Now most of those should be straightforward enough, easy enough to follow. A couple of remarks I'll make before we move on. Un sous-sol, sous is actually the French preposition for under or beneath, okay? Sol is the word for ground. So sous-sol, translated out, would be below or below ground, okay? What we refer to as a basement, okay? Une cave, on the other hand, not quite the same thing. Une cave is what we refer to as a cellar, typically a cool, humid place, which usually serves to store wine, okay? Which should make sense, you know, relative to French culture, okay? You should have also noticed that we have two meanings or two connotations for the word placard. Okay, we refer to either what we call a closet or to cupboards. Okay, usually the context will make that obvious what you're referring to. Okay, and by the way, there is a pretty well-known French film, a comedy called Le Placard, which you can find on Netflix if you want. Okay, but there is one scene in it that isn't quite PG-13, so I'm not actually recommending it to you. Okay, so don't tell anybody I did. Okay, but continuing on. Okay, let's have a little bit of a review. Practice that vocabulary with some either or questions, okay? So, again, regardez bien, écoutez bien. Je vais vous poser des questions. Est-ce que c'est ceci ou cela, okay? Et essayez de répondre chaque fois à haute voix par une phrase complète, okay? Donnez-moi une phrase complète, okay? Alors, regardez bien, écoutez bien. Numéro 1. C'est un grenier ou un escalier? C'est un grenier ou un escalier? 2. C'est un balcon ou un sous-sol? C'est un balcon ou un sous-sol? 3. C'est un jardin ou un placard? C'est un jardin ou un placard? 4. C'est un escalier ou une cheminée? C'est un escalier ou une cheminée? 5. C'est un placard ou une cave? C'est un placard ou une cave? 6. C'est une terrasse ou un balcon? C'est une terrasse ou un balcon? 7. C'est un sous-sol ou un couloir? C'est un sous-sol ou un couloir? 8. C'est une cheminée ou un grenier? C'est une cheminée ou un grenier? 9. C'est un couloir ou un placard? C'est un couloir ou un placard? 10. C'est un garage ou un jardin? C'est un garage ou un jardin? Et 11. C'est un escalier ou un balcon? C'est un escalier ou un balcon? Okay? So hopefully you're able to respond out loud by a complete sentence. to answer each one of those either or questions. Okay. Try it again if you need to. Okay. And finally, as you cycle through the list, hopefully take a little bit of time to get those written down on a sheet of paper, on some flashcards. See if you can use each one in a complete sentence. Okay. I like you to state whether or not you and your family have such and such feature that we just went over in your house or in your apartment. Okay. And for that, to say at our place or at our house, use the handy expression chez nous. Chez nous. Okay. Chez is a preposition that means in the home of or at the place of. Okay. Chez nous is at our place. Nous avons or nous n'avons pas. Okay. Chez nous, nous avons or excuse me. Chez nous, nous n'avons pas such and such. Okay. So you go back through the list. See if you can use each one in a sentence. Now be careful. The grammar, which might trip you up if you don't recall what you learned in French 1. Okay. Remember, we're talking about what we have. Okay. And using an indefinite article, un, une, or des. If you negate it, those un, une, or des have to become deux. Okay. So two phrases that I could, share related to our house. Okay. Chez nous, nous avons une cheminée. Nous avons une cheminée. We have a fireplace. Chez nous, nous avons une cheminée. Mais, nous n'avons pas de cave. Nous n'avons pas de cave. We don't have a cellar. Okay. With that, you can't say nous n'avons pas une. Nous n'avons pas de cave. Okay. Nous n'avons pas de cave. Because it kind of comes together in speech. Nous n'avons pas de cave. Nous n'avons pas de cave. Okay? So again, see if you can use each one in a sentence. Okay? For example, nous avons un grenier. Nous avons un escalier. Nous n'avons pas de balcon. Nous n'avons pas de sous-sol, etc. Okay? Alright, we'll practice over that a little bit more in class. Merci bien, comme toujours. Bon courage, très bonne chance, et au revoir.